Hi, kids and cadets. Welcome back to Tommy Time. Thanks for coming out. Just had a guy show up, traded this in. He's bought, I think, two from me. This is the second one he bought. He brought it back last year, I believe, for carb clean. I sold it cheap because of the deck, and it's taken a turn for the worse. He wanted to trade it in on something a little structurally sound. He said he's been using it, but he thought the blade hit something here. But anyway, the wheels bowed out. I think he's an associate pastor. So I ended up taking this on trade. I gave 30 for it. He said it ran. He had no problem starting it. It was just deck integrity. And I sold it to him. I told him that it was going to last a couple years before it started falling apart. So I sold him the Boulans I rectified recently. I had bought the Boulans off of a landscaper guy, and he had worn the axles down to nothing. Well, I put wheels on it and front axle. I didn't change the rear axle. So I had that listed for $130. I gave him $30 for this, so he gave me $100 cash. So that was a recent sale. You remember the Turds? I took the Turds in. The Quantum Crafty started. This doesn't have compression, so I've been messing with stuff. I grabbed this Poulan Pro. I'm a little short on just standard pushes, so I figured this would be a good candidate. So somebody's been messing with this. Blade is shot, totally shot. They hit something with it. It had one of these CDK plugs in it, so I got to get rid of that and put a Champion. They were in the carburetor because a couple of the screws weren't right. So I'm in the process of cleaning up the coil and the flywheel here, getting rid of some of that rust. Went through the carb, cleaned that out. There was a bunch of dirt and stuff in here. So that's what's been happening. So I put a new blade on this, oiled up the wheels already, spray painted it after I degreased it. So this happens to be a 21-inch model Papa Romeo 500 November 21 Sierra Hilo. And I don't know what the horsepower is. The recoil didn't have a sticker on it. All it says is Briggs and Stratton, no sticker. I could run the number and see what it is, but it doesn't really matter. I drilled out the jet. I figured it's got to be a 4.5 or better. So that's all that's happening at the moment. Still working some deals on junk mowers as far as trade-ins. Okay. I kind of clean up the post that it sits on, so I got a good ground. Just kind of getting rid of that rust, scaly rust. So I'll probably do 130 on this one. Standard pusher, new blade. Okay, so I just got a piece of cardboard here. They were from some yard signs I got at Dollar Tree. I'm just going to use that as my gauge. These are 1/4 inch screws. So I'm trying to stay ahead of sales. It always gets like this, where the sales slowly creep up and they happen faster than my repairs, so my inventory goes down. I try to have equal amounts of pushers and self-propelled. This yellow turd will look nice when I'm done with it. Okay, I'm happy with that. I'm going to put a Champion RC12YC. I also have an auto light here, but I'm going to put the Champion back in. Seem to be getting a few aftermarket plugs lately in equipment. I think this is the second CDK I've gotten, the China aftermarket plug. Usually they're torches or no name at all. Kilo 6 Romeo Tango Charlie. It'd probably be fine, but I don't like risking it. So why don't we just keep plowing ahead? I didn't think I was gonna have you come along for this one. Let me just keep plowing as fast as I can. Maybe put a little junk oil in it. You still, yeah, you're still with me. Okay, I'll try to make tracks. Hopefully you guys are doing good. Okay. Kind of got discombobulated. They've put the wrong screw here. I'm going to try to steal one real quick off of something else nearby. Or I've got a little container with extra screws. I'm going to try to make this work. And I don't see what I'm looking for. Darn it. I'm gonna make it happen one way or another. Just give me a second. That's all I ask. Give me a second. See what happens when you aren't prepared. Hold on. I see a junk Murray with a rusted deck. Okay, good. Carburetor still on it. I'm going to steal what I need. Go to the kitchen. Okay, we're making tracks. This is a junk Murray rusted out deck. I've got one stubborn engine bolt that doesn't want to come loose, so I kind of messed with that and then gave up. It was just taking up too much of my time. That's in. Okay, so somebody's stripped this thing out, is what it is. I'm going to switch screws. Okay, that seemed to grab that time. So I got gas right here. It's just going to take me a minute to tighten this up. Okay, the sheet metal screws will help me out. We've got a double tie down here. Screws into plastic and then the sheet metal screws into steel. Okay, hopefully there's no air bypass. Okay, let's keep plowing. Put the recoil on. Got to put a little junk oil in it. Ratty, thanks for standing by. It's got the old straight pawl type recoil. Okay, plugs on, that's good. 2013 on this one. According to the Briggs and Stratton sticker. Built 4th month, 25th day of 13. Okay, hopefully it starts, otherwise I wasted your time. Oh, the other thing I did was change the cable. Cable was broken, so I went to my section and grabbed a new cable. So it's got a couple of new parts, cable and blade. I got a filter nearby and I got the cover that goes to this. I'm going to bring it back onto the concrete. So don't let me start it without putting some junk oil in it. It's touching the bottom of the stick, but I want to put a little more. Let it heat up and then I'll change it. Okay, let's start making tracks. Okay, so that's that. Got to get my filter right here. wish I had 5 of these lined up that I could bang out. You know what I mean? These are quick and easy fix. It's just owner neglect. When you see a blade, that's probably the original blade. Dark oil. Filter wasn't bad. I could still see some yellow on the filter. Okay, let me put the rope up here on the holder. Okay, I guess that's how it goes. I'm trying to fiddle with the hooky dookie. Okay, let me get you, remove all the tools off the deck. Still working on the recycler back there. Okay. I don't anticipate any problems. Got a little sand there on the recoil. Ratty, you keep an eye on things. I'm going to remove all this stuff. The China plug, sandpaper, tools. I still got to get a zippy tie for up here. Okay, got one. I got 2 actually. I always put one up here on the clip because this plastic nipple breaks off over time. It's just plastic and it gets stressed out. And maybe one down here. Just to keep it away from the rear wheels. Something like that. That's good enough. Just confirming we got oil. It's a good thing I checked because that indication on there must have been from me rocking it around because it doesn't show a darn thing. Now for oil level. Let's start this process over again. That's a couple of good pours. I'm not even going to check it. I know it's going to be good enough to run for 60 seconds. Okay, Ratty. Let's pull and go. Okay, I gave it a half-hearted pull and it fired off with like half a stroke. So it seemed like it had a little high on the RPM. I went ahead and followed the governor slash throttle spring back to the tab, and forward is increasing RPM, push it to the back, it decreases. So I pushed it to the back a little bit. Then it seemed to lower itself on its own after it was running for a minute or two. It seemed like the RPMs dropped down. I thought maybe it was going to stall out on us, but it kept running. So a little bit of cleanup, a Lawrence Carroll quick wash on this thing, and I'll advertise it. Probably won't advertise it. I only advertise a few and then let people come out and see what I have to offer, because it'd take me forever to take pictures of everything. So I have maybe, I don't know, 5 or 6 various machines, and then they come out and see what I have, and they're all different prices. But I think $130 on this 2013 will be a good price. I had kind of put a little black spray paint on the muffler as well after I did the case, and I was smelling some paint burning. Put a little bit right there. So what do we want to do? We want to flip it over for an oil change. Let me do that, and then you guys can go home. I got a little container here. Ratty Rat's gonna supervise still. And here's my container. So it's a little easier when you have the long filler tube on these. You can pretty much aim where the oil's going to go. It's going to be tipped this way. When you just have the little yellow dipstick, you got to kind of really pay attention and get ready to scoop up that used oil. So we're going to take this off. Oh good, there was enough in there. Let's see how good my pour was. I'm getting pretty good at this. Oh, wow. Don't get any better than that. Right at the top hole. Maybe slightly above. But that was damn good for eyeballing it. Wouldn't you say? Okay, here we go. Tippy tippy. Dispose of your used motor oil accordingly. There's my AYP 48-6 Bravo Papa. So I'll let that continue to dribble out and go on to some other project. Appreciate you coming out, checking out the yellow submarine. I'll put the blade number down below for you, and the cable number and the model number of this yellow turd in case you want to get your own parts. 2013, I'm guessing it's a 450 or maybe 500. The sticker's gone. Okay, you guys, keep it rolling. Tip your waitress and wait staff. Thanks for coming out. Adios, amigos.